Okay, now I'm good. Just had to do some touches on the new Q&A format, starting with the background and the name and the description, which you guys should pay attention to whenever everybody gets in. That's why I was taking a minute also, because I was preparing the new format. Yeah, I was preparing the new format, the name, the background. Yeah, the name, the background, the description, and everything about the Q&A format has changed as well. If walkers were as cognitive as humans, the world would be screwed. Might as well just make them regular humans, except with, vicious teeth and killer instincts. Hello, King Devon. And the reason that the Q&A also took a minute is, I'll list off all the reasons. Number one, look at the name. 2, background, obviously. 3, the description of the Q&As is now going to be different, and these are going to be in a different playlist. Like, you know how my first set of Q&As with the phone, they're on one playlist, and then the second set, laptop, is on another. Well, now we're getting a third playlist because of the new revitalized edition of this channel. And here's the last reason that it took a minute, because surprise, surprise, after this stream is over, guess what's going to be on the channel for you guys to see? The Dale movie will actually be done. In one video. 14 hours, almost 15. Yeah. What if Merle kidnapped Sophia on the highway? Well, I already have Sophia finding Woodbury, and Merle would be at Woodbury around that time. So, yeah. I'm just going to incorporate that. Hey, Sophia. King told me he is unable to make the stream. All right. Spider-Man was in the Tournament of Power. I believe that is saved, as well as Okafor surviving. I doubt that would have mattered. That just seemed like a small side subject for Gregory and Cal. What if Loki survived? I think is saved. By the way, pay extra attention to the description because it says, and I quote, here, not only questions for what ifs can be asked now on the new Omniverse of Nick's Saturday Q&A, but also topics or reviews or discussions you would like to see can be asked too. It's a whole new field, and I hope you guys, old and new, are all kinds of stoked. What's up, KJ? Nice to see ya. What if Beale and the governor swapped? Oh, you're fine. Wait, what? I feel like I missed one. What if Rick handcuffed Merle's leg to the roof? I prefer Merle with an appendage to his arm. Herschel's the only one with a prosthetic leg. But arm prosthetics, I feel, are way cooler and would make way better stories. What if Beale and the governor swapped? Yeah, I could do that. I have the paper from last week's Q&A because, remember, last week's Q&A was a catch-up for KJ. So we didn't even get too many questions out of it. We got one, and I'm pretty sure either King, Devin, or someone else recommended it. What if Thorne and Michonne swapped? I think it's you, Devin, but it's still here. It's the same exact paper. I only throw the papers away when I get a good, decent amount of ideas. Instead, it was just one idea. I didn't feel satisfied. What if Beale and the governor swapped? You know, some part of me thought that I did save that, but why the frick not? We'll do it. What if Beale and governor swapped? Okay, that's two. What if Michonne never took Morgan's candy bar? I don't know why so many people... That's like beyond silly. That was just another side subject, and it wouldn't change the story outside of being just a small little funny moment gone. What if Rick killing Ethan sparked a war against Hilltop? Well, then they would lose a town. Jesus, very capable fighter. They would lose kind of most of their leverage, and the Savior War would have been almost impossible to win. What if Rick handcuffed Merle's leg to the... I already talked about that, GMV. What if Sebastian killed Rick like in the comics? The only way I see that happening is if Rick had stayed behind and the comic story went like it did, but it wouldn't have totally done it that way because Rick losing his arm in the comics is probably what mostly caused his death, even at the end. So, I can't say... It would just be a rip-off of the comics. What if Beale and Pope swapped? All right. That's 3. What if Rick stayed being good like season 9 and didn't kill humans in The Walking Dead ones who live? He kind of had to, because they kept him against his will. Jadis brought them there. And Jadis brought him there, even if it was to save his life. He kind of had to kill them. What if Nat survived? I feel like I have that saved, but I don't think so. And I actually would like to do something like that, because I feel like Nat was a wasted character too. It's not Sophia. What if the eclipse happened in The Walking Dead? I doubt it would have changed much except made more people blind. Maybe like almost everyone blind. And then it would be a very weird apocalypse to talk about. Yo, Nick, how are you doing today? Hey, the person, nice to see you. I am doing all right. You got the new background in the back. You got the new name, new description, and new change to the channel and everything. And also, for those of you who did not get my memo recently, what I just said, I said that the Dale movie wouldn't happen. But I tried last night, losing an hour or two of precious sleep, mind you. But I tried last night, and I was actually able to store the entire 14 hour and 52-minute movie of Dale's remake on my computer without overloading storage, because that was what I thought was wrong. Turns out the reason it didn't work before is because I accidentally deleted the videos that I had put together for the movie. So it is currently uploading right now and will most likely be done by the time we're done with the stream, if not maybe an hour or two after the stream. So yeah, you guys can look forward to that. What if Axel survived all seasons? I already have Axel surviving, I think, as a saved what if, and other Axel themed what ifs saved. What if Dr. Jenner refused to let Rick's group into the CDC? Well, then they would have just... The story would have went the same, except... You know, I never thought about that. I never thought about that. That's actually a pretty freaking good one. Then they would honestly... Then it would just be Jenner who dies, and not Jackie. And Andrea wouldn't hold that grudge against Dale. And yeah, that would be pretty freaking sick. What if Joe killed Rick? Well, you can't replace Rick in that scenario, unlike Shane killing Rick. So that's honestly just a bad story overall. The Claimers killed Carl. The Claimers didn't seem like they were going to kill Carl or Michonne. They just seemed like they were going to, you know, for lack of a better term, have their way with them. So, yeah. I don't think that would happen. Rick and Daryl were going to die, but not Carl and Michonne. They were just going to humiliate them. What if Teddy imprisoned Dakota instead of Alicia? I can't really say how I would think the story would go from there. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be making What If Heath Was in the Ones Who Live, because I really wanted to see it and they didn't do it. I don't know why. It's a wasted opportunity. Now at this point, it's just pretty much confirmed he's dead. And if they somehow bring him back, I want to know why they didn't bring him back before. Oh, the Enigma Explorer? The Dale movie is actually going to happen. If you didn't just get my recent message. I've had Heath go to Oceanside before and replace Tara in that sense. So it would honestly just go like that, and then Heath would just die at the Pike scene. Not much would change, because we don't even get to see Heath in The Ones Who Live, so how do we know if he's even... It really doesn't make for an interesting story. Would both Carol and Ed died? Well, one of them dying is one thing, but you need at least one of them to live. So, yeah. If Dr. Jenner died beforehand, well, then the CDC would just be empty. If you're talking about blowing himself up before they got there, then it would just go like, what if he never let them in, which is saved now. So... except it would be different. Oh, jeez. What if Tara and Lily found out about the governor's past from Martinez? Let me think. I am going to have to say that hold up. Wait, no. Something I need to look at. No. You can't be serious right now. Frick! No, that's grand. Yeah, Sophia. The Dale movie is gone. Yeah, I'm upset right now. I finally thought that I had a chance to upload that, but guess what? Guess what, guys? We can't do it. Guess what the limit on YouTube movies is, or like stuff like that? Guess what the freaking limit is? 12 hours. And the Dale movie was near 15 hours. So we can't even... I really thought that we could freaking do it after it worked, but no. Now it's just wasted freaking time. Well, you guys are... Anybody who loved the Dale series, which I'm pretty sure all of you did, you guys are just going to have to check it out on the playlist. And now, yeah, it was 15 hours, KJ. It's 42 parts. So it was definitely going to be, like, near that long. Maybe it was the finale that really pushed it. But I always make the finales big. Yeah, I literally thought this was the one last chance to make that Dale movie, but no, it was just 2 hours over. Like, but it's all right, right? It's a minor inconvenience, and if we're really being honest here, 42 parts, it's pretty much a movie already. You just have to go to the parts separately. So, I guess that I can do stories over 27 parts as movies. I just can't have them maybe over like 30 and a half parts. At least that narrows the field a little bit. You know? Now let's get back to the ideas here. What if Sophia ended up in France? Yeah, we could do that. If my pen wants to work. Thank you. Stupid pen. Ended up. Ah. 7. Merlin, Daryl, what if is amazing so far? Thank you. Any updates on the Walking Dead Destinies DLCs? Nope. No DLCs, no updates, anything. I wish. Like I said, if they don't do that by the end of this year, then Destinies is a 4 out of 10 in my opinion. Decent, but not as good as it could have been. Absolutely not. What if Tyrese and Sasha went with the governor? Then they would have seen firsthand the governor's brutality and would have likely lived through everything, even the governor killing everybody, because Karen did, as well as several others. So honestly, not much would have changed, except Tyrese and Sasha would have been way more dead loyal to the group. So what if Eugene died instead of Noah? I already have Noah surviving in a what if, but Eugene survived till the end. I'd say that'd be too much of a repeat. One sec. What if you do movie parts? I could do that, but then that involves me having to get back all the stuff I just deleted and then splitting it up. And I don't want a split up movie. I want a movie that's complete. And I'm especially not doing anything more with it because it was just 2 freaking hours that I was over. That's what annoys me the most. That I was just 2 hours over the limit. Because logic. What if Tyrese survived is saved? What if winter came early? It would have just been a season early, so I can't really say how I would think the story would go if that was the case. What if, well, if Eugene died, then he lived till the end, so we wouldn't have any exposition on him about Washington and lying or not, and Eugene's whole slowing the rule thing would have gone horribly sideways. And if you're going to kill the 2 of them, everyone was in the bus, so it would ultimately be like better to kill everyone in that scenario, not even joking. Tyrese. Terminus was abandoned, then the signs and everything and all of that, you would have to find a group that would combat them first. And that's almost where my what if Negan met Gareth what if comes into play, and like other what ifs that I've included with the Terminus people before, as well as ones that I am going to do for the future. You gotta have like an alternate group if you're going to make that happen. What if the Dragon Balls couldn't revive anyone? Then what would they do? I've seen people do that what if before, but like, think about it. I feel like the Dragon Balls not being able to revive anyone, like, what would you do with them? That was almost their base power. Before he was pregnant with Judith, before the apocalypse and gave birth to CDC. Correct me if I'm wrong, any one of you, but I'm pretty sure Judith being born early is saved already. If it's not, then that'll be the 8th idea for the stream. What if Glenn had returned by death? KJ, I think you're throwing in some really... I get good, silly ideas, but that one is like... I don't know if that's really good enough to a point where it would make sense as a coherent story. I never watched Seinfeld or Feld or whatever. Sorry, I didn't see that. Glenn surviving is already a done deal, and I'm sure you even know that. And I have Glenn what ifs saved for the future, and I've made him survive before. So technically, your what if has already been done. It's just in a different way. I could see Kramer as a savior. Well, Jigsaw in The Walking Dead is going to be the next one that I work on after me and Lord of the Rings, which is going to be the one-parter that I work on here tonight and wrap up tonight, because it's that easy. if you're going to give Glenn that power, then you need to give everyone that power, because it seems like increasingly unfair, except in the other scenarios that you guys have recommended where there's a twist that it doesn't make it like that in the sense. Oh. Green Goblin killed Spider-Man. Well, you killed Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. That universe is pretty much doomed. And then whenever No Way Home happens, then you're just going to have one Spider-Man along with Tom Holland's. And that would honestly kind of make No Way Home go a little bit south. Because it was all thanks to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man that Tom Holland's Spider-Man did not kill Green Goblin. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation. That would be like a What If Abraham Survives story, which is saved, by the way. Like in the What If. That's funny. Then that would almost be a carve and copy of What If Dale Survived. And I don't want to do that with Glenn. Or anyone. I don't want to do a carve and copy of a story. Negan and Alpha swapping. That's actually, Now Jesus and Gregory being at the lineup, it's very confusing to how to make that happen, because Hilltop, after the Savior's satellite outpost, it just didn't. I don't know. It more or less just doesn't seem likely that would happen. What if Negan decided not to do the lineup, yet brought all Rick's group to the sanctuary to be prisoners? Then Rick's group ultimately would have it would have pretty much gone like my What If Rick met Negan before Alexandria, my most popular video to date still, which is going to be getting a remake. Think about that. And the reason it's getting a remake, like many of my other stories, is because lack of context. Yeah, it would be, which is why it will happen. What if Joe and Owen swapped? All right. It's going to be kind of a weird story to do with Joe and Owen as characters, but yeah, I think I could make it work. Will there be a What If Simon won against Negan remake? There originally wasn't going to be, but I'm pretty sure I have it saved. So, yeah. If I don't, I'm pretty sure I do, but If I don't, then there must be a reason. What if Jesus convinced Maggie to not execute Gregory in season 9? Well, Gregory had already given so many chances before, and then he actually tried to kill Maggie, like, truthfully, in that sense, doing a crappy job of it. I don't really know what more Gregory could have done as a character. Rick being more wrathful and stuff like that, I have a few stories like that. What if Rick had the Venom symbiote? What if he was bit and got zombie powers and being a freaking Saiyan and Beerus's descendant and a bunch of crazy other freaking ideas? What if the Saviors were at Hilltop collecting half their stuff when Rick's group in? Well, then they would have met. Huh. I don't know. I can't say. I'm not sure. I already have the Saviors doing a lineup at Alexandria and Rick meeting them early, which are two unrelated what ifs. But I'm not sure. Liebert? I don't know who that is. I'm trying to think of how I would do that story, though. Gonna have to be executed, but Rick has to find all the. I'm just trying to figure out that if I want to do that story, like the best way to go about it. I try to think of a general idea for every idea. And if it's right away a good idea, then I obviously save it. But some it just takes more thinking. I want to make a story that people like, after all. I'm going to have to say that I already have the Saviors appearing early and being at the Alexandria lineup, so that would honestly be rehashed content. And as for Dave and Tony bringing Sophia, Sophia already died. She was at the barn before Rick and Glenn went to get Herschel from the bar. That was the whole reason that plot happened. So, it's kind of late with timing. What if Carl surviving is finally going to become a themed what if? It's already saved. And I already have a bunch of stories with Carl surviving. Like I said, I'm not doing rehash content with the whole Dale surviving thing. Yes, but he also mentioned that the reason he was there and why he lost hope was because of Sophia coming out of the barn. That was another key factor. And because Shane proved him wrong. What? What? That's actually cool. Glenn and Shane swapping? That would be neat. I don't know where you guys come up with these freaking ideas whenever I can't even. Probably because I'm too focused on everything else. Real life and thinking about all these millions of other things I avoid, like some of like the most obvious ideas. I swear, like 90 to like maybe dialed down to like 85 or so % of the ideas in my list are from you freaking guys. I know, KJ. I just don't want to, because of King Devin bringing up the whole Dale thing and you bringing up the details. Like I said, it's more or less rehashed content and not wanting to do a carbon copy of another story or something that's way too similar. So they're saying it's like Doomsday. I don't know. I say it's too confusing to try and figure out and work around and make it like a story and everything. It still annoys the frick out of me that I was 2 hours off of making that freaking movie. What if Walker Randall bit Glenn? I already have Glenn dying in a few other situations. He was close to dying there too. Ironically, I just now realized that. But you'd have to find a replacement for him, because until season 7, even if he didn't live till the end or isn't a spin-off character, there's just not. He was much needed for pretty much the entirety of when he was around. Why not make movie parts? Because like I said, KJ, I don't want to. If I make a movie for What Ifs and like a series and everything, I want to do just a one-off. Like I want the movie in of itself to be just one movie. I don't want it to be split into 2 parts, because it just doesn't feel right. And especially now, since it's revealed that I was just 2 hours, almost 3 hours off, and all that work that I went through to try and make it happen, and I was so close to actually making it happen, it's just not going to. It's probably the only story on the channel with a series, maybe, that's not gonna get a movie. But all the other ones will, unless somehow in the future a story like Dale's goes over 40 parts. But, well, I have no idea yet. No clue. That is up for discussion, because I don't know. Yeah, but T-Dog died in season 3 anyway. You have to find a way to reverse that. Would Otis Mercy kill her? And if that was the case, then that would take away a lot of season 2, because it was all about looking for her. The group said so themselves. What if Rick Grimes had cancer? I could maybe work with that. I have Rick and Negan swapping. Would it be fatal? And how would the story go if that was the case? Maybe reverse it by having Rick kill Andrew himself because he'd be darker without blame. Okay. What if Randall bit Glenn? Well, looks like it's going to happen. How about that? What if Sophia's walker bit Otis? Okay, it's saved. Crimes having cancer and wait. Wait a minute. What for crimes had cancer? Okay, I will do that what if, but tell me like how long would Rick survive and like how would it change the story of his overall perspective and like stuff like that. I just need a general idea. And Sophia getting bit and getting her arm cut off by Herschel and everything else. This almost feels like rehashed content with Otis shooting Sophia. And if Sophia was there with a bullet wound and Carl still got shot, then ultimately they might have just went to Fort Benning at that point. And like I've said, I've already explained what happens if they go to Fort Benning. They die there, or they die getting in or out of there, pretty much. KJ, why would you ask that question? Get that the frick out of here. All right, that's 12 ideas. We're doing good. It is a make up for last week. Rick school. Wouldn't Rick need chemo like Lucille? Rick school would be for Rick to die peacefully and let others die peacefully when killing others. What? That could cause problems. Yeah, I have. What if Otis opted out after shooting Carl? What, you mean killed himself? Then that would just take out a little bit of context. It would be harder to get someone to go to the school, and Shane would... It would be Maggie or Beth, like a Destiny's reference, and I already have both those saved, and I'm actually going to go more in depth than Destiny's did, so rehash. Otis wasn't even in Destiny's, so it would be a carve and copy. I guess I could do what if Rick had cancer. Wait. Before I do that, would he still get shot? And when would he contract the cancer? What if Otis went to the school and got the meadow gear, but left Shane behind? Otis surviving, Otis killing Shane, and several other Otis-themed what-ifs are safe, Sophia, for that idea of the school and the medical gear. What if Carl was Sophia? Carl and Sophia being together happened in What If Madison's Family Joined Rick, and it's going to happen in future stories. I just can't tell you when or how yet. Okay, what if Rick had cancer is actually going to happen? Okay. That would have happened. First 2 seasons. Yeah, it will happen more in depth than I did it with What If Sophia Joined Negan, or What If Negan Saved Sophia. I just didn't really do anything with it there. I did make it happen in What If Madison's Family Joined Rick. I just made Sophia die in Alexandria and then Mika take over for a little bit. Or I think for the rest of the story, if I'm not mistaken. And then, yeah, that's pretty much the only story I've ever made them get together so far. What if I don't watch Invincible or Omni-Man or anything like that. I heard plenty about it, but I haven't gotten to the series. Don't really want to. That's just one of the few things that I just don't feel that I'm ever going to get into. It took me forever to get into things like Harry Potter and the entire series of Pokemon, which I'm actually over halfway done with, and Naruto and stuff like that. Attack on Titans. So, yeah. Now I want to do a Walter White. Oh, from Breaking Bad. That's another thing. I don't think I'm going to get into that either, but hey, I'm not going to say no, but I'm not going to say yes. It's pretty much down to that. There are plenty of things I do say no to, but you get my point. What if Dawn's group worked with Dr. Jenner? Those two groups were very far away from each other. And the group, and Dawn's group and Dr. Jenner's, their similarities are like bare. There's nothing similar that could make them work as a whole with what they did. Vegeta paying crimes and serving times in jail. Well, in the filler arc of the Saiyan saga, him and Nappa were actually imprisoned in Arlia, but that didn't last long. Because literally, it's freaking Saiyans. Wait a minute. Wait. I'm pretty sure that the CDC was way farther away. Oh, would you look at that? But still, the groups, I just don't see Dr. Jenner working with the cops. Even Dawn's group or anything. I just don't see it as a coherent story. I don't know who Nabra or Sukuna are. First of all, I don't know who Ice Cube is. Second, even if I did, I doubt it would make a good story. I already have Darth Vader being in the MCU, I believe, but I don't really like Star Wars. So, besides Darth Vader, Stormtroopers, and a few of the Skywalkers info, I'm just not really a fan of it. I was going to get into that before Harry Potter, but I just couldn't. If Dr. Jenner died from from poisoning or whatever, they were blocked in. And they wouldn't know that they were infected until seeing it. They wouldn't be able to probably even get out without Jenner telling them, or, reluctantly telling them. And they'd probably die in the CDC, which I've made a what if before about that. I don't know who Subaru is. The Omniverse of Nick. Still a freaking sick name. It makes up for the lack of the freaking Dale movie. Oh, I was wrong. So the Casey story is done. By the way, I've gotten that out of the way if you guys didn't see my Discord post. But after Nick in Lord of the Rings, the Jigsaw in The Walking Dead what if isn't going to happen until after the What If Sandman Didn't Join Venom remake. I got the two mixed up. I forgot about the Marvel inclusion. What if Shane and Laurie got back together and had an affair at the CDC instead of Shane attacking Laurie? Shane being with Laurie for good, and several Shane and Laurie what ifs are already saved. So, yeah. Your wish will come true on that part. I just can't tell you when or how yet. So there's something that I want to bring up. And I think we're going to actually we're going to call it here. And for the last 15 minutes, I want to talk more about this. Because even though we already talked about it a little bit before, I want to touch upon it more, because once I get through that first batch of what ifs that I showed you guys with the 10 genres, and then make the second set, I'm going to put a certain real life what if near the top of the list. Not at the top of the genre list, but at the top of the real life what if list. And I doubt that I touched upon this with all of you. So we're going to do that right now. Because it's really, it's a what if like that's real life that you can't miss this. This is like picture perfect gold whenever it comes to a what if idea. Now, where is it? Right here. I'm gonna, you know what? Even better. Here we go. What if a second Big Bang happened? Now, those of you who did talk about, I did talk about this with, I don't think all of you. And I want to talk about it with all of you and not get into the idea itself, because I'm going to get into a lot when I do make the idea, but this is a very important what if that I want to discuss with you guys. until I make it happen. Feels like I'm robbing 15 minutes from the Q&A, but I don't care. Yeah, pretty much, GMV. Now, okay, let me hold on. I need to fix the laptop here. Okay, are you telling me I can yap because GMV's saying about not yapping, or are you agreeing with him? I'm confused. Oh, come on, KJ, you weren't even here for that, I feel. No. Hear me out on this. This, what if I did? You can't miss this. And yeah, I'm definitely putting this at the top of the list for the second set of genre what ifs. Like, and it's something that I want to discuss with you guys because it's big. Now, if you please, laptop, thank you. Anyway, so you guys know about how the whole Big Bang concept, right? There was nothing, and then it pretty much just sparked everything that we know about: dinosaurs, space, planets, all that crap, right? Well, here's where me and a fellow worker were talking about this like a week or two ago. And it was right before my last Q&A, I think. And that's where this idea sort of came in. We all know that in 7 billion years or so, the sun's going to eventually get so big that it pretty much destroys our planet. It destroys everything around it. It bursts up and then pretty much closes. And what I mean by that, you guys pretty much all know the gist of like what's going to happen, like what we know is going to happen about that and everything. It's pretty much going to result in the sun destroying pretty much everything that we know of in space. And here is where this particular what if that I thought of at that moment comes into play. And it's not about Bill Nye the Science Guy. Did you get that out of here? I get what you're saying, but no. Anyway, what the idea basically is trying to think of the best way to word this. I feel that since the Big Bang started everything, and it was originally nothing, that if it results in 7 billion years, the sun making space nothing again after all this time, that maybe, and this is where the idea comes in, what if a second Big Bang happens? Sprite Troll? This used to be King's other account, but it changed. Because he was hacked. Someone took over his channel. But anyway, seriously, guys, you guys think about this. Think about a second Big Bang happening after the sun basically expunges everything, it would pretty much be a rewrite of history. You would see, well, obviously none of us are going to see it. We ain't going to live for 7 billion years. Dude, I wish. Well, I'm sure that any of us would be okay with even just, 500 years, but billions, that's pretty freaking long. Anyways, the whole second Big Bang thing, more or less, is just cool to think about because, yeah, the way that the Big Bang started everything, thinking about another is definitely really cool to think about, if I do say so myself. But I think that the real big discussion and like joy of this what if will come whenever I actually make it a video. But I just more or less want to talk to you about it because it's really, really cool to think about. And I don't care who it is because he's going bye-bye. Yeah, I used to watch Bill Nye up until the probably 5th grade, I think. Maybe 6th. After that, I was just like, Jimmy, get out here with that. But what are your guys' thoughts on a second Big Bang? If it would actually happen at that time or in the future, if it actually somehow were able to happen. What do you guys think about that? You think it's an interesting theory? If it happened, it probably changed the universe. Do you think if a second Big Bang happened and it was nothing and the sun basically does all that humanity and everything, it would basically revert and would be a carbon copy of our original history? Or do you think that it would actually make things way different in the universe? Is that what you're talking about? What do you think about chompies? I don't know what those are. Bill and Eugene. Sheldon, young Sheldon is already a thing that's going to happen in The Walking Dead. But now Bill Nye? As much as I think it would be like rehashed content, I'll do it. It's just, it's going to be weird to work around and everything. Oh, it took me a minute to actually think of what you were talking about. But yeah, I definitely think it's really something cool to talk about. Now I want to see if there's a way. No, there's got to be a way. 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 Come on. Video. I want to show you guys my new intro that I just made. This is literally just made, and it's specifically made to show the change of the channel. Okay. All right. Excuse me. Excuse me. I didn't know that I had to do that. Thank you. Now don't play. Don't do anything stupid, video. I'm trying to make this a freaking cool surprise here. Thank you very much, kind sir. What do you guys think? Put my video up there? What do you mean? Ronnie the Gamer Mobile. No, I do not watch Rocky. I do not know what that is. See. Okay, let me see if I can do this. See, the thing that I love that I made about this intro is the fact that I make the letters and everything for the Omniverse of Nick come in slow motion while I'm having these pictures go really fast. And then it just closes in at the end. Because for one thing, I wanted to show this intro specifically was made to show the change of the channel. Ultimately, if there was any surefire way to show that this channel had changed besides the name and everything that was going for it, this intro, it does the trick. Now I'm gonna play it again. And this time, I'm gonna see. See, it has all those pictures while a freaking sick, ominous tone while the pictures are going like that and everything. And it's really cool. Anyway, I just really wanted to show that because it's freaking amazing. And now we're back here. When is the What If Negan Met Rick Before Alexandria remake? I can't tell you when, but I can tell you it will happen. My eyes? Why? Looking at all the pictures so fast? Yeah, it takes immense concentration to like notice the transition and everything. It's really fast. And I bet that none of you in the entire freaking YouTube or Discord can guess where I got that music. Along with, you guys never really questioned the music before, like my some of my other intros and stuff like that. I'll question that. You guys have gone on to question more of the way I do my intros. The Shrek music with the Yamcha intro from my friend Kaz, you guys question that, but I think you guys pay attention to more of the details of the characters and the intros and the outros than the actual music. Not that I'm telling you to, but if you pay attention real close, you can actually, depending who you are, it could be very recognizable. Nick, if you've seen my last long video, put it up there. Why? You're like on your channel? Well, I can't do that because I can't really do that because it's not, that would be more or less me promoting your channel, but I have promoted you before. I've shouted you out before GMV and everything. And I could just say sub to GMV right now. If that... But yeah, if you pay attention really carefully to the intros and outros that I've made, very few of them, besides the Shrek one, which is obvious, Sophia, you can actually deduce that depending on if you've heard the music before, it's very familiar. And as I've showed King Devin and everything in the music and everything like that and how I changed the tune of it, because I showed him on Discord and everything, I use music, but I try to shorten it so that way it's not copyrighted. So if it's not my own or like something I just find, I make sure to try and shorten it or change the pitch or whatever, so that way I do not get in trouble. Because especially when I first started YouTube, I just kept posting stuff without even realizing what copyright was. And then I'm like, well, if I want to still use stuff, even if they're from other people, I need to do one of two things. If I'm going to use the full thing, I need to credit them, or I just need to shorten it and make it my way. I just cannot get the letters, the transition. Sick! I don't know how he would meet Navy SEALs or how it would go or anything like that. But anyways, we're going to wrap it up with the Q&A here. I just really wanted to talk to you guys about the second Big Bang thing and show you guys that new intro because it is pretty freaking sick, if I do say so myself. And we got 14 ideas for the stream, the first of which being from the last Q&A. Thank you guys for being part of the new and improved Omniverse of Nick's Saturday Q&A. And with that, I'll see you guys Monday for the next episode of the Merle and Daryl story. And stay tuned for future updates on Discord and YouTube. And with that, next Saturday for the next Q&A. Pretty much all that. And I will see you guys later. You can ask a what if question. It would just have to be in the comment section or any of my streams or anything like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the Q&A. You guys could talk to me on Discord or any of my comments or anything if you missed out on anything. But I'll see you guys later.